Hey, entrepreneurs, are you trying to make bigger profits in your small business? Like many of us, I'm sure you're feeling it. Business is hard, and now more than ever, you need to have a plan to help your business not just survive, but thrive. And it can happen as simply with thinking with the end in mind. I'm Marcia Reiner. I'm a business growth strategist. I've helped tons of small business owners to establish and implement a tangible plan that guarantees increased profitability, guides your growth, and plans for a future exit. Because a business worth selling is also a business worth owning. And I want to share strategies that I've earned and learned with you on today's Profit with a Plan podcast. But before we get started, I have something to share with you. I put together an insightful Think Outside the Box masterclass. This 15-minute training has been specifically designed to help you learn how to grow your business 2 times, 3 times, or even 10 times the revenue and the value of your firm. So you're in a great position to sell it someday on your terms. So just register for free at www.10xyourfirm.com. All right, I'm really excited to have my guest on today. Chelsey Roney brings her business building and strategy experience to Proxy, where she serves as the COO and leads a team of 5, growing the business through sales and marketing. After graduating from Texas A&M, Chelsey joined Boeing, where she worked in financial planning and analysis, and then Microsoft, where she worked in a demand center that focused on B2B omnichannel marketing. She grew and sold 2 businesses, a SaaS business in the university space and a local service business. So she's got the information for us. Chelsey is also an active member of her community, a dedicated parent, and a passionate supporter, of women and business. Chelsey, welcome to Profit with a Plan podcast. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Okay, so how in the world did you come in line with, location-based marketing and map technology?
Yeah, I'll give you the background. So my co-founder has been a longtime friend of mine. We go back about a decade to our time in undergrad at Texas A&M University. After we graduated, we both ended up here in the Seattle area. And so we remained friends. And a lot of our friendship was predicated on talking about business. We both love chatting about the news in business and how we could solve people's problems. We actually started a QR peer-to-peer payments company that didn't take off. But we always said that the next project or the next idea that we had that we were really convicted about, that we would go full time on together. And so we ended up starting Proxy, and it was all born out of a Halloween trick-or-treat map in the October of 2020. Melinda's background is actually in geospatial mapping. She spent some time in a U.S. intelligence agency producing geospatial maps for people in the field. So she had the technical expertise in this subject matter to solve a problem. So what happened at the first Halloween of the pandemic was that parents wanted to create a safe trick-or-treat experience for their kiddos. And there's this thread on Facebook in her neighborhood Facebook group. And the thread said something like, put your address here if you're providing pandemic safe trick-or-treat options, like leaving your candy outside or making one of those candy chutes where you sent contactless candy down a little pipe.
Oh, how fun.
And so she, having this geospatial visualization background, saw this list of a couple of 100 addresses. And she was like, now this just doesn't make sense, right? Because humans don't operate in the world when they look at a list. They don't operate well when they look at a list. They need this data for geospatial to be visualized on a map, because that's how our brains think, is in terms of proximity, is in terms of place, in terms of distance. And so when she saw this list of addresses, she turned it into a map. She visualized this list of addresses. It ends up going viral. 2,500 people add their homes to the map, and we get on Good Morning America. And it's just this really fun story. And so from that, she kept getting requests to resurface this whole mapping idea. And she gave me a ring during this whole process. And we've been talking like 24 hours a day since that phone call.
I can imagine
and
just all the excitement going back and forth. And, oh, what if we did this? And what if we did that?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. And so what we ended up discovering was that there was not a crowdsourceable mapping tool available back in 2020 and not even today, except for Proxy. And so we ended up creating this mapping software where anyone can add points to a map, where you can send it to your family or friends, or business can engage an audience, but everyone can add points to a map. And so that's one of our defining features today, is the fact that our maps are crowdsourceable and you can participate with your friends on creating a map. So that's our origin story and how we got started.
I love it. And what do? Two talented women, and I know you have children, and does your partner have children as well, right? So now
she has
creative moms. Creative moms can make anything out of a block of wood, right? So that's what it takes today to have that kind of business sense come out of the need and creativity of moms. So I love that idea.
It's a crazy story. And, I sold my other business to work on Proxy full-time, and she actually dropped out of her PhD program at the University of Washington to work on it full-time. So it's been a wild few months.
Yeah, I can imagine. And born out of a toxic time with COVID, now that you've got this thing going.
Right.
So it's interesting that you did it for trick-or-treating, and now you're doing it for, restaurant recommendations and, hey, you should go check out this park over here, or things like that.
Right.
How would we relate that whole idea of location-based advertising for our businesses, if we're a mom and pop, or a brick and mortar, or a dentist, or an attorney, or, what have you?
So totally. So we have found that almost anyone has a use for a map. Any business has a use for a map, whether it's internal use or external use. So a company or a person like an attorney can actually use our map to visualize case evidence that has happened using a Proxy map, and it went well. So that's good.
That's cool.
For things like sales teams, you can map out like sales dinner spots or prospective clients, or if you're creating a portfolio, like I owned a landscape installation company, you could create a map of your portfolio work and feature those pictures and things like that. So there's a use for any business.
Wow, that's really creative to think about, sales territories or prospecting territories that you'd like to block out. John, you go over here. Sue, you go over here. And then that way there's nothing falling through the gaps. But I love the idea with the attorney to be able to roll out his case as to where proximity things had happened along the way. Love that. That's super creative. See, again, it takes a creative mom that can put all these things together. How do you relate, or how could we compare that to like something like, Google Maps, that is so common right now that, I mean, I even got hit up. So I run my practice out of my home location. So I don't really have a storefront, but Google hit me up and said, hey, we need to get your address on the site. How does that work?
Well, for Google, I think Google needs that just to build up their database for actually companies like us who do call on Google APIs to make our maps, to power our maps, basically. So if you were to provide your location information there, then there are specific calls that the APIs can make such that we can fetch that data from Google and include it in our interface. So I think Google's asking, I'm sure they're asking for a number of reasons.
Oh, they are.
Trying to make money off of you, but
yes, of course. Of course. But I love the idea of being able to, put your business on the map in a way
Sure.
that using that kind of, even the crowdsource mapping or the location-based mapping, because advertisers, when they're looking for the customer, oftentimes they're saying, oh, I want a bakery near me, or I want an attorney near me, or I'm looking for a landscaper near me. And then that comes to play for the business owner to be able to pop up higher on their ranking if they're located on a map.
That's right. And so, the point of, so kind of turning gears toward proxy, like our goal is to enable people to create maps and then put their business on the map if they so wish, amongst other map points. So for instance, like a boutique hotel or a short-term rental owner may add their property to the map and feature it, but then they might also add businesses in the area that they also have relationships with. So you may add all of your recommendations for other professional services in your area. And then when people ask you for recommendations, you're able to send them that map, if that makes sense. But really, proxy was developed with location-based conversion in mind. So someone like a short-term rental owner can provide all of these recommendations about local businesses to their guest, and then proxy surfaces analytics to that map creator and enables them to make money off of their map, because they can then turn to the businesses they've put on their map and say, hey, I've got 10,000 people that look at this map on my blog. I can feature you as a point on this map, or something like this in exchange for a fee. And so eventually we'll have those tools inside of proxy, and we're working toward that actively now. But we're trying to enable like a local business owner or someone who can provide location-based recommendations to make money on their local expertise and in their recommendations, because we do have that data on conversion.
I love it. I love it. I think it's super important that we should all have that kind of information. And if we're working with partners in the area, so if you're a realtor and you have listings of your homes, or you want to say, okay, so here's the title company I use, and here's the escrow company I use, and here's my business in relation to those things. It's not a sneaky way, but it's an alternative way or a complementary way to get your business found as well.
Yes, you're exactly right. And that's exactly how we foresee it being used. Now, shortly, proxy will also become a discovery platform. So you log into our site and you're able to have these maps surface to you based on your interests, based on the data that you provide us, to receive recommendations for maps to view that may be of interest to you. So if you log in and you're sitting like me in Seattle, I might want to know the Seattle Chamber of Commerce's, or I might want to see their map of local things to go do, but I might also want to see a local influencer's map of things to go do. So these maps will start to flow in. You'll be able to search for them, discover. Ideally, there would be businesses that are map influencers, if you will. So people who have a lot of expertise in a local area that people are really excited to look at their map.
I love it. I love it. So when we're doing these maps, even if we're using it as a tool to go out and enjoy the neighborhood and enjoy the community and the things like that, if we have keystone spots that are recognizable on it, like the corner deli that we know is there and it's very much recommended, we can add them to the list, and then it becomes a little bit more exciting for the person coming through the town to know to hit that one, or the bookshop that has exactly a really funky feel to it, or so you can, I mean, the ideas are limitless, right, on what you can do with these
and
maps.
That's the power of local knowledge. And there's a term out there called volunteer geographic information, and so that just means like someone's local knowledge of the area visualized on a map. And so this relates right back to what you're saying, because if you create a map of your local area and you say, I love this record store, it's a mom and pop shop, I love the owners named X, Y, and Z. And then I would go from there and stop at this little coffee shop next door for this menu item. Being able to describe the details of why you love a place and put that info on a map is so powerful for both your local community and the people visiting it.
I love it. I love it. And I could see, well, here in Southern California, driving is a pain in the butt. I mean, 100%, no questions about it. It's a pain in the butt. So I could imagine that someone going to a sporting event has a direct route that they could take that, avoids some of the traffic to that select parking lot that nobody knows about, right? Or, you're parking downtown at a Dodgers game or something, and just little ideas or even stops along the way that you could go. I think it would be really helpful to have that kind of information available that you share with your friends. But if I'm sharing with my friends, would I be able to share with everybody at the same time?
So that's a great question. So today you can quite easily share the map with whoever you want to, however you want to. So you can share it with small audience just by texting them the link or emailing it to them. You can share it with a bit bigger of an audience by maybe putting the link to the map in your link in bio or in an email or something like this. And eventually, as soon as our app is launched, you can mark your map as public if you want more people to see it. If you don't want the public to see it, of course, you would keep it private and publicize it to whomever you want to, internal to your network.
I love it. I love it. Well, we know that Proxy is a fantastic company, startup, just growing with some really unique ideas on it. But I think the whole purpose of this conversation, besides talking about the fantastic opportunity with Proxy and location maps, is how today's business owners might want to get on, quote, the map and be seen a little bit more, because I know those near me things, those near me shopping, when you're putting that information into your local or your favorite search engine, they pop up things that are written correctly. And I think it's really important as a concept, not a how-to and what you should do, but I think as a concept, all businesses should really truly get on the map by advertising or at least making all of the free opportunities to list your location, including maps like Proxy.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I've been an owner of several businesses, and every time I increase PR efforts or increase ways to be seen on the map, so to speak. You want to take advantage of every opportunity that you can, whether that's Google inviting you to add your information to your Google My Business account,
your location,
or whether it's creating a proxy map with your business on it and your other favorites, or if it's, who knows, getting your Yelp account set up, or whatever these free opportunities are to increase viewership. You've got to take it as a local business, especially.
I love that idea. And obviously I think, using a company like Proxy is going to be fantastic for it. And it's going to help develop the community on it. But what a unique give back to the community, that if you if you created a map or a recommendation list, right, of your favorite, we talk about bakery, hot dog stand, deli, whatever it is that you like, and you build a map like that with your center of business, just because I think it's showcasing everybody else, but you get lifted with the tide at the same.
That's right. And that's what we found too. That's what we found. Oftentimes when businesses literally put themselves on a Proxy map and tag other businesses like, hey, cookie shop next door, I put you on my map. They then share, that cookie shop will then share the map or whatever. So it is a form of viral free advertising and a way to bring up your community around you as well.
Okay, so you brought it up. So we have to ask, if I were to create a map, is that free, or is there a cost?
It is free. It's free.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the power behind Proxy is that you can head to the site, you can create a map for free, you can add points to it and customize it by customize, I mean brand it to your brand so that it looks like a product that you developed. We don't want the Proxy logo on there. You can take that off. You can replace it with your own. We have other ways of driving customers to our site, but so we want you to take that map, make it look like your own. You can customize the icons that appear. You can customize the map background. People have been ultra creative with the way that they visualize or create their map. So then you can add points to it and share it all within about 15 minutes. And it's just such an easy way to portray your local knowledge.
I love it. I love it. And lift your business at the same time.
That's right.
So what a unique opportunity to get involved in the community. And you mentioned also the chamber. I think that would be a fantastic opportunity for the chamber to come in and build a network map of its chamber members and use it as an advertising or leverage tool to be able to say, hey, I belong to the Irvine Chamber, or I belong to the Seattle Chamber. And so then what are the other communities around there, and get them all involved with that and sharing it out. Plus it's something
how powerful. How powerful would it be for
We're talking each over. Go ahead.
We're so excited. How powerful would it be for like a chamber to map all the businesses that they partner with and then provide it to people as a relocation guide when they move to the city? I mean,
love it. And also to put it on your website, right? It's that simple. It's a digital copy that could create tools. I mean, funny enough, when you're thinking about promoting your website, this isn't the conversation, but when you're promoting your website, they want links, they want SEO, they want stuff in it. Boom, if you're linking out to everybody else and you're asking them to link back to you, up the level you climb by just having a function like Proxy and using a neighborhood map.
That's exactly it. And then not only that, but the Proxy map typically increases time on page by about 30% because people are excited to click around. They're excited to view what you've recommended. And so that helps you with SEO as well.
Oh, I like it. So even more tools that today's business owner can use by just creating a map and using it on their website and sharing it out with their friends and the links and everything that could come along with it. And you're building reciprocity, right? You go to the cookie guy and you say, hey, I put yours on my map. Would you put me on your map? Here's a link. Go do that. And crazy. And then, and I think through this tool, it all makes sense in the linear direction of search. That if I'm on your maps a bunch of times, then search is going to find me because I'm commented on your map a couple times.
Right. Yeah. So that's true too. And that's a place we're moving in the future. Like how does Proxy as a company surface recommendations for people to put on their map? And that's exactly what you're alluding to. And that's where we'll go is like, okay, we've noticed this engagement from this user over another, we would surface that recommendation for someone to place on their map. So
I love it. I love it. I think the opportunity to, as you mentioned early, to get viral and come up in a way that showcases your community and showcases your neighbors, lifts you up, and then for fun's sake, next time you want to go someplace, you plot out a map and you tell everybody how to get there and what you've experienced.
That's right. Like a travel diary is one way that people have used it, just like you said. Another way is to seek recommendations on where to go. So let's say you're traveling to, Palm Springs for the first time and you want to surface your map to your whoever. It could be your entire audience. It could just be your friends, but you can share that link and then people can suggest where you should go on your trip to Palm Springs. So
I love
it's a very powerful way to source recommendations.
And have fun,
And have fun. Yes.
Exploring.
So we have dozens of users who will come back and say, we're addicted. We make maps for everything, you know, we make maps for like our Saturday morning to-do list, or like, you know, their trip to France, or, you know, then take it internal to their business and say, here are the places my business needs to expand to. So definitely very versatile.
So that was a good question. So this is an international map. So I could go to France and plot out all the spots that I wanted to go to. No more Rick Steves and, you know, I'll have my
Funny
own
you
map.
should say that. We're trying to, our dream client is Rick Steves, and we're trying to get in touch with him. So we'll put that in the universe. But, you know, for something like a Rick Steves book, let's use that example. He like produces these amazing guides to Europe. But when you get to Europe and you're holding a Rick Steves book and you're sitting in your hotel and you're hungry, you're not going to go like flip through this book to figure out where Rick Steves would go. You're going to like walk out the front door and go to the coffee shop. But it would be so much more powerful if you just held up your phone and there were Rick Steves recommendations mapped out. You could just, and he's making money off that too, right? Because he puts these places on the map and et cetera. But, it's just a better way to navigate.
I love it. So we could be our local influencers, and by playing on the map and creating the places we enjoy and we like, even as business, we could create a business community on the map that we want and become the influencer for our friends.
Yep.
That leads back to potential referrals.
Well, that's right. And so we have... As you can tell, we have some big plans over here, but one of our plans is to start solving for location-based affiliate links. Now, so you could recommend your friends, right? And then when people actually convert, you could receive like a kickback on that conversion, which is great because that's your power as a local influencer and someone who has built that network up over time. These influencers, whether it be a business or someone these days, can make money off product-based recommendations easily through tools like to know it or Amazon affiliate links. But there's no great way to make money off of like a location-based recommendation or business recommendation. And so you're absolutely right that today a map creator could absolutely make money outside of the tool by facilitating these affiliate-based conversions. But in the future, we hope to be able to technologically solve for that too. So you can do that all in one spot. Wow.
You guys have a big idea coming, and it's really good because, you know, here we've taken a step back over the past few years, and we're all, you know, stuck in our homes. We're getting back out again. We're doing things we want to explore. We want to try new things and things that our friends recommend. So what a better way to do it than plot out a map of those places you recommend, or and then start sharing them and getting out together, but separately if that's your place. If that's how you want to do it, or you organize a group together. Funny enough, I have a small group of motorcycle riders that through another networking group, and we're looking for motorcycle rides together. And so here I'm trying to plot horrifically on Google of where we're going to go and turn left here and how many miles that is, so we know, and what gas station we have to stop at. But wouldn't this be a whole lot easier to plot it out here and include the locations and the keys? And we're going to stop at this bakery, and we're going to stop at that gas station. We're going to have lunch here and look at this viewpoint here. And yeah, that would be so much easier.
And so on proxy maps, you can draw routes along certain roads if you wish. You can then mark the points of interest where you'll stop along the way. You can mark long locations. So if, as a motorcycle rider, I'm not up on that terminology, but whenever, you find a parking lot that doesn't have an address or a viewpoint that you want to stop at, you can double click and add those long points so that when you're out, you can find directions to those points that don't necessarily have an address. Now, in the short term, we're also adding a couple different things that might help with a trip like this, like point numbering. So you could number your points 1 through 10 and then say, hey, we're going to go to point number 2 next, or just, number 3, the next point on the line and so on. And then we'll also be adding date time so that you can associate a spot like an itinerary. Yeah.
So one more on that kind of line of thinking. Hiking is really big here in Southern California, and there's some really great hiking trails that you can go on. They're marked out, kind of. And then you park at someone's corner of this house, and then you walk up the hill between the fences, and off you go. Right. Is that something you foresee, or is that something that can be plotted on a proxy
You can
map?
do that today. Yep. So if you just zoom in to the map today, you can just double click on where the trailhead begins, because oftentimes those are discrete like points when you're out and about. So you can definitely mark that on a map. And if you've got your phone with you and you're building out your map for friends, like if you're doing the hike first, and then you have a network that you could recommend the hike to, you can actually just take your phone, double click along the way, add your lat long points, and then send it off to your friends as like, hey, here's the actual record of what to do when you're out on the trail.
How fun. So there's so many things that we can use proxy for, whether it's for our business, whether it's for community recommendations or chamber including. If it's out doing your kids trick-or-treating, which was a fantastic story, or you want to go on a hike someplace. I mean, there's a million things that I can, we just got excited and started talking about on it, that you can do on a map, including putting your business on that map. So that way you're found and you're recognized through your community or your concepts or whatever you're doing. And I love the idea of branding it as well. So just another angle of something you can do to get recognized. So I love it. All right, Chelsey, where can listeners find out more about you and Proxy?
Sure. They can find Proxy at Proxy, proxi.co. We don't have the com, so proxy.co. And then you can find us at some variation of Proxy Co. across the internet.
Love it. Love it. And it's free. It's easy to use. And you said in just a matter of a few minutes, you can start building your map, right?
That's right. Try it out. And as a business owner several times over, I would love to hear from your audience, what feedback they have. And we're growing quickly. And so I would love to incorporate what they have to say. Perfect.
Awesome. Well, we do ask for feedback on the show, so that'll be a great opportunity. So perfect. All right, listeners, thank you for listening. I hope you found a couple ideas to incorporate into your business that will make your business more profitable and get you on the map, right? It just sounds like a fun idea, and what more ways of getting visibility than getting on that map. So, all right, it's never been more important to focus on growing your business. With these ideas, you can do it. Don't forget to register for my new masterclass. This 15-minute training is designed to help you grow your business 2, 3, or even 10 times in revenue and the value of your firm, so that you're in a great position to sell it someday. Some of the benefits are more profits, more free time, and an easier run business. So register for free at www.10xyourfirm.com. You won't want to miss this class. And as Chelsey mentioned, we'd love to hear where you're mapping. Give us some feedback. Tell us what you'd like to see on your map, or if you did put your business on the map, what did you find out about it? Did you get any comments, or did anybody find you? These kind of things help everybody grow. So it's kind of, we all lift with the tide. So tell us what you think, and give Chelsey some feedback as well. Don't forget to subscribe to today's podcast as you don't want to miss any future shows. And you can catch Profit with a Plan on any of your favorite podcast player. And we're looking forward to more great profitable information on next week's show. So until then, make your plans and profit with them. Thanks so much, Chelsey.
Thank you.